was it the City Hall or wherever it is? The exact spot where Jefferson Davis was inaugurated as president of the Confederate States. And it was a 6-pointed star. A Star of David, it looked like.
So, Gunther was this was basic
medical.
Medical. Had you ever had any medical training at all before this?
No.
So this was all new to you?
Yeah, I had an aptitude for it, but...
So all new, and so what did you, how long was this school going to be for?
I think it was 8 or 9 weeks.
Just 8 or 9 weeks? Shorter than basic training?
It was shorter than basic training.
Okay, so what were the things that you were going to learn here
learn how to take apart a .45 automatic pistol and put it back, blindfolded. We actually, it was pretty in-depth training on anatomy, physiology, and bandages and
splints and
yeah,
all the basic
medical.
Basic medical, okay. Blood pressures, taking that sort of thing too. Would this be, since you were in the Air Force, would this be an equivalent to, say, an Army medic or a Navy corpsman type thing?
I think it's a little beyond there because they were, when I actually got out to my assignment, and I met Army or Navy corpsmen, they were totally jealous of Air Force medics because we knew so much more than they did.
So your training was more in depth than what they got.
Either that or we got more practice. I don't know. God forbid.
Okay, so you're in Montgomery. Still staying in touch with home whenever you can.
Yeah.
What did you? Had you ever been down south before?
No.
So what did you think of being down there in Alabama? Was it different?
Oh, it's very different. Anywhere in the South, it's like being in the buckle of the Bible Belt, and they don't know too much about Jewish people, and. So they don't treat us very nicely. Greg would have an idea about that.
There was a lot of people they didn't treat nicely down there. But
no.
Okay, so you saw that as being a Jewish person that you weren't fitting into.
My skin crawled. Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't fitting into that
no.
that society there.
No.
So you said this was 8 weeks.
Then I was sent back to San Antonio to Brooks Air Force Base for the School of Aviation Medicine.
So you flew there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because actually we took a train from San Antonio to Montgomery.
Oh, so you took a train the one direction.
We stopped off in New Orleans overnight, and that was cool with the jazz bands and everything meeting us at the station and everything.
Okay. Was that your first time you ever ridden the train?
Oh, no.
No, you had ridden trains before.
First time I met a train that I remembered.
Okay.
I took a train to and from Chicago during World War II because my dad was stationed in Chicago.
Okay. And when I guess I should have asked you, when you flew from Cleveland to San Antonio, was that the first time you'd ever flown?
Yeah.
No, you had flown before. Okay. So now you're back in Lackland, or you're back in San Antonio, but this time at Brooks Air Force Base. Because I know there was Kelly down there too. There was Kelly.
That's the Army.
Yeah. Kelly Air Force Base and.
But Kelly was Army. No, Kelly's Air Force.
Yeah, it's Air Force. Yeah.
You're right.
So you're at Brooks, and this was for.
It's the School of Aerospace Medicine.
Aerospace Medicine.
I was in the flight surgeon's office, so we got to go in the centrifuge and learned pretty much what we'd be doing in the flight surgeon's office. Then they took us out for into the boonies for a week and left us there, survival training.
Okay. So,
They gave us a piece of parachute cord and a knife, and God, now this is 45 years ago.
sure.
Some matches, and that's about it. They said, we'll pick you up in a week. It was totally
How many of
devoid.
how many were you? How many of you did they drop off?
Oh, I don't know. Well, one at a time, but
One. Okay, so you were on your own.
I was on my own. We were all on our own.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, you're over here, get back to over there, because that's where we're going to pick you up. Well, they gave us a compass, too.
Oh, compass. Oh. They didn't give you a road map, right? No maps.
Well, yeah, there was
Some kind
rudimentary
of
map.
Yeah.
So,
And this was for a week.
for a week.
Okay, so tell us about it. What was that? What was that like?
It was great.
Was it?
Nobody bothering me. And, you can get by eating plants and whatever we could find.
Small, catch rabbits or
Bugs.
bugs.
Yeah, caught a rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Got a snake,
Were you allowed to make a campfire?
That's where they gave us matches.
Okay, so you were allowed to
Yeah.
make a campfire, cook something, and this is for a whole week.
Yeah.
Now, how much? Okay, they dropped you off at point A, and they said in a week we're going to pick you up at point B. Is that 5 miles, 10 miles? Any idea how much distance that was to get from A to B? I mean,
It's about 25 miles.
25 miles. So, I mean, in essence, you could have walked the first day from A to B and then just waited for them to pick you up for a week.
Sure, but I had no friggin' idea where I was or where I was going.
Was this a central meeting point that all the people that got dropped off were going to meet at this point, or everybody had their own individual?
I think we all had our individual.
Individual.
Should I turn this off?
Yeah, I think you should turn that on. Yeah. I guess I should have said something.
It's my sister.
She'll understand.
Okay. No sound.
So a week of basically just living off the land as
Yeah.
best as you can.
Yeah, well.
I would presume.
That was only over there, before I went to NAM, they gave me like 4 season survival school, so.
But I would take it this before they did this. You obviously had gotten classroom training on. I mean, if you're going to go out there and eat bugs, they told you which ones are you eat, or if you're going to eat berries, which ones are safe to eat and which ones aren't. So you obviously had a lot of training prior to doing this.
Right.
And plus, you would be getting more medical training, I take it.
Absolutely.
So how long was this school at Brooks? I mean, total?
12.
This was another 12 weeks. So 8 weeks in Alabama, and then 12 more weeks of advanced medical training.
Yeah, it was like 20 weeks altogether.
So to get, and so when you graduated from this, you were a
Aeromedical specialist.
aeromedical specialist. Again, equivalent to an Army medic, or better than an Army medic, or Navy corpsman, or
Whatever. I was qualified to work in the flight surgeon's office. We treated we treated all the medical problems of flying personnel.
okay.
Which was pilots, navigators, and crewmen, air crewmen. And
So not the guys working on a flight
we
line.
didn't
or
work on
anything?
the grunts. No.
None of the just
Only
the,
people had wings on their uniforms.
I wasn't aware that they had separate.
Absolutely.
So if you would have been working on the grease monkey guys, you wouldn't have had to go through all this.
I would have been on the other side of the hospital.
Okay, so they had that split off.
Yes, it was segregated.
Depending on whether or not you had wings.
Yep.
Okay. So you complete this. You're now an air crew member
No, not yet.
No, well, I mean a medic, a medical